Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, and the calendar says January 1st, 2027. You look at your bank account and you have exactly $0 in assets. No secret trust fund, no hidden crypto wallet, no stock portfolio to save you. You have a little bit of debt, a mediocre salary, and a lot of anxiety. You turn on the news, and the financial headlines are absolutely screaming at you. Interest rates are volatile, artificial intelligence is threatening your industry, and housing prices look like international phone numbers. What do? Most people look at this economic reality and they completely freeze. They convince themselves that the game is entirely rigged. They believe the wealthy have a secret code that they don't possess. So, they just drop the controller and refuse to play. But I am here to tell you a harsh truth. If I had to start from absolute zero today, I wouldn't panic at all. Because I understand the mathematical reality of wealth creation. I understand market cycles, compounding, and human psychology. In fact, 2026 is actually one of the cleanest entry points we've seen in a decade. But only if you know how to completely ignore the noise. Today, I am going to give you a ruthless mathematical blueprint. This is the exact roadmap to your first $100,000. And eventually, your first million. I am not going to sell you a course at the end of this video. I am not going to pitch you a magic trading algorithm. This strategy is completely free, but it requires your undivided attention. So sit up, take notes, and let's rebuild your financial life from scratch. We are going to start by breaking the biggest myth in personal finance. We are told that if we just stop buying $5 lattes, we will be rich. They call it the latte effect. I call it a complete distraction. Let me be brutally honest with you. You cannot budget your way to wealth on a $30,000 salary in 2026. Inflation makes the cost of living a constantly moving target. If you focus all your energy on clipping coupons, you are playing defense. Defense prevents you from going bankrupt. But offense is how you actually win the game. If I am starting at zero, my very first step is a massive skill audit. I have to look in the mirror and face the music. Low friction income means a low barrier to entry, and a low barrier to entry always guarantees low pay. Driving for a rideshare app is linear income. You drive for an hour, you make $20. You stop driving, you stop eating. But learning a high leverage skill is exponential. I am talking about data analytics, technical coding, or specialized sales. A career pivot can permanently bump your primary salary by $30,000 a year. That new baseline increases your future raises. It increases your Social Security credits, and it massively increases your borrowing power. Yes, learning new things is deeply uncomfortable. It is much easier to drive a car for cash than to study for a certification at midnight. But the comfort zone is exactly where your financial dreams go to die. I will take the 1 hour a day I used to spend scrolling TikTok, and I will study. I will embrace the embarrassment of being a beginner again. In 6 months, I use that leverage to demand a raise or jump to a new company. Increasing your shovel is the only way to dig out of the hole faster. But making more money is completely useless if you have a giant leak in your bucket. That brings us to the second phase of the blueprint. We need to talk about the invisible thief stealing 30% of your wealth. I am talking about taxes. Most beginners just download a shiny brokerage app and start buying stocks. By doing this, they are voluntarily volunteering to give the government a massive slice of their pie. In a standard taxable account, every single dividend is taxed. Every time you sell for a profit, you trigger capital gains tax. Over a 30-year investing horizon, that tax drag is financially devastating. If I am starting in 2026, I view the tax code as a literal rulebook for wealth. The government explicitly gives you legal incentives to build wealth. Ignoring these incentives is the most expensive mistake you can make. Let's do the math right now. Imagine you invest $10,000. Over 3 decades, it grows to $100,000. If that money is in a normal app, the IRS might take $18,000 when you withdraw it. $18,000 just gone. But if that exact same investment was inside a Roth IRA, you pay 0 taxes on the growth. You keep every single penny of that $100,000. That difference has nothing to do with picking better stocks. It is entirely about account location. People always argue with me here. They say they don't want to lock their money away until they are nearly 60 years old. They want liquidity to buy a boat or throw a fancy wedding. But that lack of liquidity is actually your greatest superpower. The early withdrawal penalty acts as a behavioral guardrail. It protects your money from the most dangerous person in the world, which is you. So, my protocol is a strict tax shield waterfall. Step 1. I fund my 401k exactly up to the employer match. A company match is a guaranteed 100% return on your money. Step 2. I aggressively max out my Roth IRA. Step 3. If I have a high deductible health plan, I max out the HSA. The HSA is the holy grail because it is triple tax advantaged. Step 4. I go back and fill up the rest of the 401k. I refuse to put a single dollar into a taxable app until those buckets are overflowing. Okay, so your income is up and your tax shield is built. Now it's time to invest, right? Wrong. We have to address the monster hiding under the bed. Consumer debt. There is a toxic myth circulating on the internet right now. People genuinely believe they can outinvest their bad financial habits. I constantly see people buying volatile tech stocks while sitting on 20% credit card debt. They think a 10% market gain will somehow offset a 20% interest rate. That is mathematical suicide. If I am starting fresh, I have to accept a painful reality. My net worth is not zero. My net worth is severely negative. And until I fix that, the stock market is completely off limits. Paying off a 24% credit card is a guaranteed 24% return. You cannot find that kind of risk-free return anywhere else on planet Earth. Let's look at the raw numbers. If you have $5,000 in credit card debt and only make minimum payments, you will end up paying back nearly double over the next 10 years. That interest is literally cannibalizing your future wealth. But the math isn't even the worst part. The psychology of debt is incredibly destructive. We try to normalize it. We tell ourselves it's just another monthly bill like Netflix or electricity. But deep down, debt creates a permanent scarcity mindset. When you owe the bank money, you operate from a place of fear. You are afraid to ask your boss for a raise because you can't afford to get fired. You are afraid to start a business because you have payments to make. You become a hostage to your own liabilities. Getting rid of debt isn't just a spreadsheet optimization. It is a psychological unlock that allows you to finally breathe. My strategy for this is violently aggressive. I am not an investor yet. I am a debt destroyer. I use the strict avalanche method. I list every single debt I owe. I organize them from the highest interest rate to the lowest. I completely ignore the size of the balance. The interest rate is the only metric that matters. I pay the absolute minimum on everything else. And I throw every spare dollar at the highest rate debt until it dies. I sell the junk in my garage. I cancel every subscription I don't use daily. I treat this debt like my hair is literally on fire. And when that high-interest debt is finally gone, I don't celebrate by buying a luxury watch. I take that freed-up monthly cash flow, and I pivot to the next phase. At this point, you probably think it's finally time to buy the S&P 500. If you do that right now, you will probably fail within 18 months. Why do so many new investors fail? Because life is incredibly unpredictable. Your car transmission is going to blow up. Your dog is going to swallow a weird toy and need surgery. You are going to need a sudden root canal. If all your money is tied up in the stock market, you are in a trap. If the market happens to be down 20% when your car breaks, you are forced to sell your stocks at a massive loss just to fix the car. You just permanently locked in a loss. And you destroyed your compounding engine before it even started. Financial influencers will scream at you that cash is trash. They will say inflation is melting your money, so you must stay fully invested. But when you are at zero, cash serves a totally different function. It is not an investment meant to beat inflation. It is an insurance policy against disaster. Before I buy a single share of stock, I am building a cash fortress. This is my sleep well at night fund. It must be highly liquid and it must be incredibly boring. People hate building this buffer because it feels stagnant. You stare at the savings account and the number barely moves. But you are confusing stagnation with stability. Let's compare two imaginary investors. Investor A puts every spare cent into the stock market. Investor B keeps $10,000 in a high-yield savings account earning 4%. Suddenly, the market experiences a violent 20% correction. This happens on average every few years. It is totally normal. But then, Both of our investors lose their jobs in a recession. Investor A is desperate and has to sell their portfolio at the absolute bottom. They take a massive haircut just to buy groceries. Investor B simply taps into their cash buffer. They don't touch their stock portfolio at all. They wait out the storm from a position of power. When the market inevitably recovers, Investor A is entirely broke. But Investor B is completely whole and riding the wave back up. The math heavily favors the person who is never forced to sell. A cash buffer creates a physiological gap between a stimulus and your response. Without it, you are trading on pure emotion. Panic selling when the screen is red. Revenge buying when the screen is green. The market will absolutely bankrupt you for being emotional. So here is my non-negotiable cash protocol. I calculate my bare-bones survival number. Rent, cheap food, utilities, and basic transportation. I multiply that number by 3 to 6 months. I put that target amount into a high-yield savings account or money market fund. I set up an automated transfer every single payday. Once that bucket is full, I mentally pretend it doesn't even exist. It is not a vacation fund. It is not a down payment for a new phone. It is strictly for keeping a roof over my head during a crisis. Only when this fortress is fully built do I look at Wall Street. Now, we finally arrive at the investment portfolio. This is where conventional wisdom leads everyone completely astray. Conventional wisdom tells beginners they need to be highly diversified. They tell you to buy a little crypto, some international stocks, maybe some gold. This is a massive mistake when your portfolio is tiny. Over-diversification at the very beginning guarantees ultimate mediocrity. You actually need concentration to build wealth, and diversification to preserve it. The allure of picking individual stocks is intoxicating. We all want to find the next NVIDIA before it explodes. In 2026, the temptation will be everywhere. Apps will aggressively market AI-driven tools promising to beat the market. But let's look at the cold, hard reality of Wall Street. Finding a winning needle in the haystack is mathematically improbable. The SVIVA scorecards track how active fund managers perform against the index. The data over a 15-year period is shocking. More than 90% of highly paid professional managers fail to beat the S&P 500. These are people with Ivy League degrees and Bloomberg terminals. If they cannot beat the market, your odds of doing it on your lunch break are zero. You don't need to be smart enough to pick the winners. You just need to be smart enough not to pick the losers. Instead of searching for the needle, I am just going to buy the entire haystack. I am buying a total stock market index fund. By doing this, I am guaranteed to capture the total market return. Historically, that return averages around 10% before inflation. If I try to pick stocks, I widen my distribution of outcomes. I might get lucky and make 30%. Or, I might be wrong and lose half my net worth in a day. In the early stages of building wealth, absolute reliability always beats lottery tickets. Being average in the stock market will mathematically make you rich. But there is a massive psychological problem with index investing. It is agonizingly boring. It provides absolutely zero dopamine for your brain. You buy a broad fund, and literally nothing happens. There are no dramatic earnings calls to listen to. There are no rocket ship emojis in a Discord server. Human beings inherently crave action and excitement. We want to feel like our active efforts are generating our wealth. This is exactly why amateurs lose their shirts day trading options. They take on massive risk just to feel like they are doing something. If I am starting in 2026, I have to successfully hack my own brain. I must accept that good investing should feel like watching paint dry. If my portfolio is exciting, I am probably gambling. So here is the specific protocol I use to satisfy my brain. I call it the core and satellite approach. 90% of my investable cash goes directly into broad market index funds. This is the core, and it is completely automated. I never look at it, and I never touch it, but I take the remaining 10% of my cash, and I allow myself to be completely stupid with it. This 10% is my satellite portfolio. If I want to buy a highly speculative tech stock, I do it here. If I want to gamble on a new cryptocurrency, I do it here. If this entire 10% goes to zero, my financial life is perfectly fine. But if it happens to go to the moon, I get to celebrate. This scratches my psychological itch to gamble without blowing up the master plan. It keeps me disciplined with the 90% that actually matters. So, let's zoom out and summarize the ultimate 2026 playbook. First, you drastically upgrade your skills to play offense and raise your income. Second, you stop the government from stealing your gains by using tax-advantaged accounts. Third, you aggressively eliminate the psychological anchor of high-interest consumer debt. Fourth, you stockpile a boring cash fortress to protect you from life's emergencies. Fifth, you buy the whole haystack using the core and satellite investing strategy. Look, I know this blueprint isn't what people want to hear. It is not a secret glitch in the matrix. It is not going to make you a millionaire by next Tuesday. We live in an era where everyone is desperate for a shortcut. But wealth has never been built on shortcuts. Wealth is built on compounding, discipline, and avoiding catastrophic mistakes. This is the exact, unglamorous path to your first $100,000. And getting to that first $100,000 is the hardest part. Once you cross that threshold, compound interest takes the wheel. Your money starts making more money than your day job does. The snowball gets bigger and faster with every passing year. The math is undeniable, and the history is crystal clear. You don't have to be a genius to win this game. You just have to be incredibly consistent when everyone else is panicking. I have run these numbers 1,000 different ways on 1,000 different spreadsheets. The math always points back to these foundational pillars. But I also know that personal finance is deeply personal. Maybe you live in a country with a completely different tax structure. Maybe you have a different philosophy on whether all debt is truly toxic. Or maybe you think my core and satellite approach is too conservative for 2026. I want to hear your contrarian takes. The best part of this channel is the debate in the community. Drop your specific strategy or disagreements in the comments below. I read every single one to see where I might have a blind spot. Treat this comment section like a peer review panel for your financial life. We are all trying to navigate this chaotic economy together. If this breakdown gave you a moment of clarity today, do me a favor. Hit the like button to appease the algorithm. And more importantly, consider subscribing to the channel. It costs you absolutely nothing to join the community. It helps me keep the lights on and the spreadsheets running. And I promise to always respect your time and attention. I aim to give you the highest return on investment on YouTube. Stop looking at your current balance as a permanent sentence. Zero is just a starting line, not a destination. Take control of the math before the math takes control of you. Build your fortress, kill your debt, buy the haystack, and let time do the heavy lifting. You have the blueprint. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.